everyone and welcome back to the BIA racing series, where today we arrive at the second race of 12 here on the Utah Belt in the United States of America, with it having been about 2 months since Redwood. This track is often considered the most dangerous in the track build due to its vast length of almost 10 kilometers, and with narrow bumpy roads where many of the cliff sides are unprotected, there is a very real threat of flying off the edge due to a mistake, so the stakes are super high today. This track also has the unique quality of having 2 pit stop locations, one at the start line and another about halfway along the track just before the turnoff to the large highway. Stopping at both locations at least once is mandatory, so it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. The current temperature comes in at 28.8 degrees Celsius as this race takes place at 9 AM, just escaping the part of the day in Utah where it starts to get really hot. Let's take a look at the quality results lined up for this race. We have Jace in 5th. He did not qualify as he intentionally chose to not go for a qualifying run, stating that he believes his chances are higher starting at the very back, and noticeably, he is still using the low front bumper which most racers have left behind at Redwood. In 4th is Brock, who crashed on his quali run, with Customized in 3rd doing the same, where Utah will be his debut race today wearing the yellow and black JB Hi-Fi livery. Blazon starts in 2nd, having set a time of 4 minutes 35.522, wearing a specialized Utah livery for its significance as being one of the most dangerous in the track pool. And Paulie has yet again reached pole position with a time of 4 minutes 32.674. 3 seconds may seem like a big gap, but here on Utah that is really close, and these two are definitely the ones to watch today. Let's get right into it. Here we are at Utah. This race is about to get underway. Customize's first race, so keep your eyes on Customize. We're about to go, and we're underway. Excellent launch from Customize. He's got the jump on Blazon. Has he passed him? Let's see. He has definitely passed him. He's now on the back of Paulie as they run up to the first corner. There they are. Brock just behind. Blazon, who's going to be last on the brakes here. And oh my god, Paulie gets ahead with better braking. Customize still behind as they go around the first corner here. Jace far back, seems to have a bit of a slow start there compared to everyone else as they head downhill out of this corner. And look at them all go along the cliff sides of Utah up to the bridge here. There's tire smoke and dust already all over the place. They are navigating this first lap very well so far. Paulie's starting to open up a bit of a gap up there. Blazon will be very eager to work his way back up. Bit of a close call for Brock there. Oh my goodness. Here they go uphill again. There is dust flying everywhere. Oh my god, that was so close for Brock again.
I can't see anything.
Brock definitely has a point there. Being back there, all the dust is in your face. It's not where you want to be. Here we are with a replay of the race start with Customize. As you can see, he just got a much better launch than Blazon, and he's already looking for a gap on Paulie on the inside, and they simply just stick so closely together where it comes down to Paulie braking later than Customize. Truly excellent racing here. Next up, we have Jace's slow start. Let's see here. And it's roughly 2 seconds before Jace takes off. One must wonder if this was intentional or not, with Jace wanting to stay behind to avoid collisions. Already Brock has had so many close calls, and here's the first, coming out the first corner. He just comes so close to that guardrail. That is unbelievable. Here's the next one where he goes on the inside, coming over the crest here, and he gets so close to touching that rock. And here comes the worst one by far. Just look at that lack of visibility. Understeers out to the left, hits the side of the wall, bounces and somehow lands it like that. The fact that he was able to recover this is miraculous. Look at that car got a 45-degree angle there. Here, the top 4 come through. Paulie P1, Customized P2, a little bit deep in the inside there. There's Blazon P3, that was big. Upcoming Brock P4, and Jace is somewhere behind in P5. A sizable gap between the top 4 of Utah is beginning to grow as they get more and more used to the track. And here we have Jace coming to the mine corner. Everyone else passed about 10 seconds ago. Whoa! Jace has gone on the wall there. That did not look nice at all. But he continues going. His bumper is quite badly dented up there. We have to see how that affects him. The front runners now come down to the absurdly tight hairpin here. The order is still the same. They start bunching up here as they brake hard for this hairpin. We're going to go back to Jason a second. He still hasn't started descending with the rest of them. He's going through the double jumps now. There he is. Oh my god, his bumper's fallen off. There it goes. What the heck has happened there?
Good news, I just lost my bumper.
That may sound like a strange remark, but Jace's damaged bumper might have caused him some problems with his car's handling, so it may be actually a good thing for him, but who knows, we'll have to see if he chooses to pit over this incident or not. Brock has started to lose time on the top 3 a bit. They're about to come over the leap of faith at high speeds. There's Paulie. Customer should just be about to come over the crest. There he is as well. Blazin should be following. There's always a bit on the right there. Oh my goodness, that is terrifying. Those were crazy high speeds. The front runners now begin their climb back up the cliffsides of Utah. We're nearing the end of the first lap here, and I believe we also have word that Jace is coming into the second pit stop on the track. Yep, there he is. He's entering just now. It's unclear whether he's doing this just to get this mandatory pit stop out of the way, or he's doing it because of the damage he received, but either way, he no longer has to worry about pitting here from now on. The top 3 begin to come over the line into their second lap. Polly first with Customized 3 seconds behind, and Blazin 5 seconds behind Customized will be wanting his second place back, and will be needing to find 8 seconds if he wants to catch up to Polly. Here comes Brock. He just began his second lap, coming around the first corner now. He is 8 seconds behind Blazin and 16 to Polly, so he has a lot of catching up to do here. And oh my god, that is a massive impact with the guardrails on the exit of the first corner.
Oh, I hit the wall. Oh, I gotta pit.
And that is terrible news for Brock. He'll have to make it all the way down the mountain to the pit stop to fix up his car. It's done a nasty number on his bumper, but has it affected the handling of the car itself? We'll have to see. Jace is just now finishing his first lap and he is pitting here. This confirms that he is getting both mandatory pit stops out of the way on the very first lap, but will he be able to finish any higher than 5th? His gap to Brock in 4th is a whole minute. It's safe to say he is definitely relying on a red flag. Brock just now coming around the corner and will be heading up to the bus stop. Doesn't seem to be any issue so far. Oh, never mind. There he goes up the wall and he's coming back down onto the road. A wheel has fell off. That is a massive crash. Brock, only on 3 wheels, is fighting his way up the road. He's got a long way to go to the pit stop near the highway, but you may as well try, and he is definitely trying here. He is just pushing that thing despite the immense damage he's received on that car. Will he be able to get to the pits? Oh, he's off a little bit there, but he's still going. He's just so determined. With Brock lumbering around the first quarter of the track, the top 3 come down to the hairpin here. Customize has been making quite a few mistakes. Blazin has gained massively on him. As they go down the here, they start descending. And just look at Paulie all the way over there. His gap is immense. With Brock going so slow after his crash, he must just be wondering one thing right now. Where is Jace? And he comes around the corner. There he is. He comes to the back of Brock, moving at a snail's pace. Jace, just looking for a way past, can barely find one on Utah's narrow roads. And there he goes around the outside and he's completed the overtake. Jace has now moved up into 4th place. We're back on Brock. It's not looking good. What's this? He's gotten the crowd at Scenic View to give him an illegal pit stop fix. What? That is most definitely not allowed in the rules. With no one around him, he seems to have tried to cheat the system here, not knowing this footage will later be reviewed. He seems to have slowed down a lot from what would be considered race pace to mimic the fact that he is driving with damage. He may be going for a real pit stop at the second location. We'll have to see. We are coming to the end of lap 2. Polly a fair ways ahead. Will soon be crossing the line into lap 3. We have an end of lap battle here. Blazin has gained so much time on Customize. Here they go up the hill around the bridge hairpin. It seems Blazin has a much better run out of the hairpin. He's diving on the inside of Customize. They're going around one of the second last corners here. And there they go. Blazin up the inside. Very clean. Very nice. He seems to have done that excellently. But Customize has an excellent run. He is not giving that position up easily. Here they go. Over into lap 3. Customize is so close behind. That bump seems to have thrown him off a bit. Blazin now gaining a bit of time as they go into the first corner. It seems that Blazin has broke quite early. That is a close one. Customize gets so close to him. This battle is not yet over as they go around the first corner. They're about to go downhill. How long will this battle go on for? Customize has limited chances to overtake here on the narrow and bumpy part of the track. It could get dangerous really fast. They're going down to the bridge now. This is an ABS on no ABS battle. Customize will have the advantage of being able to brake later, but Blazin can brake smoother. Oh, Customize has gone wide there. That seems to have ended this battle, and Blazin is able to pull ahead with his position intact. While the battle between Blazin and Customize for P2 was taking place, Polly crossed the line into lap 3, setting the fastest lap so far with a staggering 4 minutes and 34.28 second time due to having no contention on track. As Blazin crossed the line, there was a 13-second gap to Polly, and with Blazin now in P2, you have to wonder if you'll be able to eventually catch up and fight for first place. Jace was also about halfway through his second lap when he had a nasty incident heading towards the leap of faith. He managed to luckily escape and will definitely be pitting to repair the damage.
No, I don't have Customize behind me now though. I got Blazin's rapid, bro.
Blazin still quite far behind Polly, but Polly's now voicing his concerns about Blazin having passed Customize. Polly now coming around the curves that lead up to the double jump. How will he fail? Oh my god, he's gone wide! He's hit a rock. He seems to be stuck. He's trying to get himself out, but can he do this in time? I hear the engines. Blazin's coming around the corner. He wants P1 and he passes into P1. Customize now coming as well. He'll be in second place. Is it over, Polly?
I don't know. I'm trying to get out.
That is absolutely devastating for Polly. This might be a DNF unless he can get himself out. He might have to worry about Jace coming through soon as well. We'll have to see what happens. As all this is going on, Brock in 5th, still on his second lap, is coming into the second pit stop location to rectify his false pit, which will cover his mandatory stop requirement here. The stewards have said they'll be deciding what to do about this situation with Brock after the race.
Somehow my front left axle sort of mended itself somehow, but I can't go over 90 kilometers an hour.
As long as you can drive, you're good, bro.
I made it to the pits!
Wow, that radio message there from Brock will be even more damaging to his reputation with fans, his fellow racers and the stewards. Over the radio, he has pretended that nothing happened and that he made it to the pits with damage legitimately to make sure the other racers didn't suspect anything. While it's understandable to not want to go out this early in the race, this will be a majorly controversial topic. Blazin now begins to descend. We've actually received word that Polly has freed himself from his incident and he is now absolutely gunning it to the second pit stop location. If he makes it, that will cover his mandatory stop there and he's been able to escape being overtaken by Jace.
I don't even know what happened, bro. Like, the car just did not turn. I think I like had a slight lockup. It was like the most tiny lockup on earth.
That just goes to show how just any small mistake can be so bad on Utah. And here we just had Blazin pull into a pit. There's Customize, he pit behind him with quite a slow stop there. They've both cleared that mandatory stop at the second location now. Blazin sending it down the highway. Oh, what's this? Red flag! Polly's DNF'd! What's happened? And oh my goodness, there's Polly. His car's been flipped over somehow. He's gotten out of the wreckage and he's just standing around his wrecked car. That is utterly devastating for him. Pole position. He was leading in first. He crashes, goes down to third. And now he's DNFing in 5th. Here we are just before the T-bone. This is the only angle we have of the incident. Polly's damage just got too much. His steering must have broke. He's into the field. He's just going through their ridiculously high speeds. And he seems to have just simply rolled off the small cliff edge there. That is absolutely devastating. We are back, and the race is about to restart. Blazin in P1, Customize P2, Jace P3, Brock in P4. What will happen? Will Customize get an excellent launch? Was the first time a fluke? Will Jace wait at the start again? Let's see. Off they go. Customize. He's done it again, and he's through. Brock on the outside. He's looking for it, and Jace is committed to the slow start strategy once again. They're coming into the first corner now. Blazin will want to overtake Customize as soon as possible, but he has to watch out for Brock right behind him. There they go around the first corner. Brock gets close. He's looking for an opening. Even here, where it's so difficult to overtake, they're going downhill now. It'll be so interesting to see how this lap progresses. Here we are just after the bus stop. They'll be coming around the corner in just a second. Here we hear Customize. Here he goes. Oh my goodness. That was so close. He went so far to the inside there. Blazin will be capitalizing on this mistake. There he is, moving as far up as he can, but of course he just can't make a move here. Customize has been having excellent starts, but he will need to make sure that no mistakes like that happen again if he wants to continue to hold off Blazin. The top three can be seen over there in the distance. They will soon be approaching the mine corner. The first quarter of this lap has been so fierce, and they continue to fight. Here they come. Blazin brakes really hard, and oh my god, he's collided with something on the side of the track. That is a massive crash. He seems to be stuck. Is this another front runner out of the race? This is absolutely mental. Jace will soon be coming and will be passing into P4, but what's this? He's slowing down. He seems to be trying to help Blazin out of his predicament. This is totally within the rules, and drivers can do this at their own volition. What? There, he's done it. Jace is freed him. Jace continues. Blazin, clearly a bit shocked from the collision of what has just happened, takes a bit to get going again. He has quite heavy damage and will be needing an urgent pit stop at the second location once off the mountainous section. These are just incredible scenes that we are seeing here on Utah today. Here we get a slow motion replay of the crash. Blazin coming up to the mine, brakes too hard, loses control of the rear. Massive impact with a deeply rooted shrub, and that sends him around into the nearby dirt wall. This is from Brock's perspective. This would have been so scary. He can barely see because of the dust, barely sees the crash, almost sends him into the wall himself, trying to avoid whatever just happened. He is so lucky to have gotten out of that, and that must have been terrifying. Now we have Customize and Brock far ahead in P1 and P2 respectively. The damaged and beat up cars of Jace and Blazin quite close together now. They come up to the leap of faith. Blazin on his way to the pits most definitely. And oh, the bonnet has come up on Jace's car. Jace cannot see. This is very dangerous, especially with Blazin's damaged car right behind. These are just very strange scenes. I don't really know what I'm seeing. Oh, Jace has gone a bit off-road. Blazin seems to be right behind. Maybe looking for an overtake? That would be very strange as he's just going to pit right nearby anyway. Be very surprising if Jace doesn't. Blazin is pitted. Jace for some reason has not. Customize has just crossed the line into lap 5. Jace taking a weird line down a final chicane here. It's not looking great. Oh my god. He's gone off-road. Oh, at least his bonnet's down now, but he's riding on a piece of his car that's stuck underneath. This is just very strange. I don't really know what I'm looking at. Oh my god, that thing's bouncing everywhere. I don't even know how that thing's drivable. Jace must have been blessed with good fortune after a selfless act with Blazin. Brock in P2 has just crossed the line with a roughly 6-second gap to Customize. He's coming around the first corner now. There he goes. He's going downhill. Oh, he struck the guardrail in the same place that he did a few laps ago. He continues. Has this affected his handling? Well, yep, it definitely has. He's off the road there. He's back on the bridge. What the heck? Oh my goodness. And oh, he's hit the barrier again and again. He just can't keep that car straight. His steering is very badly affected by what's happened. It's all over the place. Look at him going up and down the walls. He's bouncing everywhere. Is he going to be able to make it to the second pit stop location on the second half of the track? That is still so far away, but he is trying to continue. He almost went down the hill there. He's off-road again. The wheels come loose. It's about to come off. Yep, there it goes. It's had enough. He's into the dirt again just there. This is terrible for him. Will he be able to save it before Jace and Blazin come around, or will he be able to save it at all? Jace about a minute behind Brock, and he's got Blazin in his fully repaired car behind him. They're going up to the line quite soon. Surely Jace pits because of his damage up here. They're going uphill, just about to go into lap 5. And oh my god, Jace has broke very hard and just for some reason has decided not to pit despite doing that. That is very dangerous. That was very strange considering he has so much damage, and he's stuck in the middle of the track as well. Oh my god, there goes a part of Jace's car out into the wilderness. Even though Blazin is right behind him, why has he not pitted? That is just truly a perplexing decision because of the damage and because of the fact he was slowing down to pit anyway. And then there's the fact that even though Jace was clearly about to pit, he stays in the middle of the track instead of giving space by moving left, indicating a pit stop move. If Blazin wasn't careful, that could have ended in disaster. Just what was Jace thinking? Jace and Blazin coming up to Brock now. Jace seems to want to help. Just like that, Blazin passes and shoots up from P4 to P2. Jace trying to help Brock here. He seems like a lost cause to me. I don't know what Jace will be able to do. Oh my goodness. I don't know what Jace was aiming to do with that move. Hopefully it hasn't affected Jace too badly. He's still clearly able to move around. But anyway, what does Jace think of this situation? Does he think that Brock can be saved? He seems to be hesitating. He isn't moving. What's he gonna do here with Brock? And he seems to be moving on. Yep, there he goes. And, well, for some reason, Jace's car is absolutely silent. So he must secretly be using an electric motor of some kind. Maybe he's being powered by God's will to help others, I'm just not sure. But I think the more realistic option here is that our replay cameras are having some issues picking up the audio, so we hope to get that fixed up soon. Customize, about to come down to the T-bone. He's got such a sizable lead compared to Blazin and P2 right now. Oh my god, he's touched the dirt, he's spun out. And I'll tell you what, I really do think our replay cameras are having some issues displaying what you're supposed to be seeing. Because I tell you what, Customize does indeed have 4 wheels and his car is undamaged, but for some reason that's not what we're seeing. Either way, Customize has been able to get out of that very hairy predicament that could have gone very, very wrong. And with a super large gap from Customize to Blazin, he is using the opportunity to cover the mandatory pit stop just next to the start line. And the replay camera should be back to normal soon, as we have word the technicians are currently working on it. And oh my word, just as Customize has come out of the pits, the red flag has been declared, and Brock will not be continuing in this race. Call it karma, call it bad luck. Either way, that is a very unfortunate way for Brock to go out of this race.
I'm okay. Just hopping out of the car now.
I'm really bummed about that. I'm sorry to all of my Zero fans.
Here we are again for the race restart on lap 6. Customize on P1 and Blazin and P2. Jason P3 can Customize, maximize his launch again to hold off Blazin. We'll have to see. They're about to go and off we go. They have relatively equal launches off the start. What's this? Customize has backed off a bit. Blazin is shot past into P1.
No.
Jace has committed to the slow start strategy again. Customize still has an ace up his sleeve though, because Blazin is the only person here who has not completed all mandatory stops. He still needs to stop at the pit location next to the start line, so all Customizer needs to do is stick with him until Blazin has to pit there. Here we are nearing the end of lap 6. Customize has dropped back a bit from Blazin, but it is still more than enough if Blazin decides to pit sometime soon. They're going over the hill now, and it looks like Blazin has decided to make the pit stop. Customize shoots past into lap 7 and into first position. It seems the decision here was to get the mandatory stop out of the way as soon as possible, even with Customize close behind. So afterwards, Blazin can purely focus on catching up to Customize for P1 in the last 20 minutes of this race, instead of having to worry about making a pit stop close to the end of the race and losing P1 if Customize is close behind. There is currently an 11-second gap between Customize and Blazin that Blazin will need to work on closing. Oh my goodness! Blazin has just pitted and struck the guardrail! Will this affect anything to do with his car? Oh, bit of steering damage. I gotta be careful here. Is he going to play it safe and pit to fix the steering damage that could possibly be detrimental and secure P2? Or will he risk it all and try and catch Customize for P1 while dealing with the damage? Either way, this is great news for Customize.
Yes! He might have to pit again.
Jace is descending while a minute and a half ahead Blaze and Customize are instead ascending towards the end of lap 7. Regardless, due to the 2 DNFs so far, Jace has secured his first podium finish ever, and oh my goodness, there goes Jace's bumper. It has fallen off his car yet again, and this is a prime example of why all the other drivers have left the low bumper behind at Redwood. He's lucky that it did not get jammed under his car. We're on lap 8, Customize now coming onto the highway. Blazin was still at an 11-second gap to Customize when they were crossing the line from lap 7 to 8.
Do I have steering damage? Oh, am I? I'm very slowly drifting to the right. Apart from the stupid jumps.
That's not great for Customize. While it sounds good for Blazin on paper, it won't change much, as Customize's steering damage sounds minimal, while Blazin, dedicated to the chase on Customize, hasn't pitted to fix the damage and has noticeably worse steering problems. Blazin now comes across the line into lap 9 with only about 10 minutes left, so it is now or never, and in a single lap, he has almost halved his gap to Customize, bringing it down from an 11-second gap to a 7-second one, setting his personal best time of the race at 4 minutes and 35.9 seconds, about a second and a half off of the fastest lap so far, set by Polly at 4 minutes and 34.2 seconds, and he is doing this with steering damage. Customize may have to watch out sometime soon. Customize is giving it his all to stay out of Blazin's reach as we progress through lap 9. At this time, Jace is still on lap 8, about 2.5 minutes behind. If Customize is able to hold on to P1, that'll be an incredible achievement for a debut race. Oh my god, he's hit the rock! He's crashed in a really big incident there. This is terrible. Blazin is slipping past into position 1. There he goes. How is Customize gonna deal with this? Going in too fast, hits the brakes understeers, begins to pull out, but it's just too late. Hits the rear, and the rear of the car bounces up into the air. He has a massive spin and hits the bush there. That is utterly devastating. Blazin now far ahead, heading down to the T-bone, but back at Customize, we have unbelievable scenes where he's gotten himself out of the bush, but has ended up down the dirt hill, and he's now climbing his way back up. And hopefully for him, by the time he is back out on track, we'll be ahead of Jace, now on lap 9 as well. And speak of the devil, he's gotten out, he's back on track. His car's badly damaged. It looks like his front right wheel is hanging on by a thread. He will have to make it to the second pit stop location as soon as possible. He has defied all odds and is back in the race.
Race engineer, how close is Jace?
You're fine. You're fine.
Blazin is making a pit stop to repair his steering damage from a few laps ago, with a large gap that has now opened up due to Customize's crash. Customize seems like he will have a safe pit window to come out and secure second place for the remainder of this race, which is still brilliant work on a debut.
Should be safe from Jace. He's about 1.3 kilometers away from you right now. You probably have time to pit.
Apologies, as we have lost our replay camera feeds again. We are now stuck to Blazin's bonnet perspective. We will really have to iron out the reliability of those camera systems. But anyway, we are nearing the end of this race now. The gaps are far apart. We have Blazin first, Customize in second, and Jace is third. So not much has changed, and it is likely that not much will change as we head towards the end of this race. Engineer, how much time left?
There is 4 minutes left.
Okay.
I say just, you know, relax, just finish the race, you're well ahead.
Thanks, mate.
Bring it home, mate.
It is lap 11. This lap started with 3 minutes left, and the 1 hour time has officially wrapped up, and everyone must now finish their laps. Jace is still on lap 10, so he'll be finishing up first in third position. His first ever podium, and this is absolutely excellent for him being able to finish on a track he barely practiced at all.
I'm really proud of myself.
Blazin will be next to finish his lap. He loves the Utah belt. He constantly practiced the Utah belt. He made a special livery for the Utah belt. He qualified second on the Utah belt. He set the second fastest lap time on the Utah belt. He made the only racing related overtake on the Utah belt. And now he will be the winner of the Utah belt. Yes! 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 Wow, that was quite the rabid reaction from Blazin there, but for winning on a track as dangerous as Utah, it makes sense. Customized just under 2 minutes behind Blazin, coming to cross the line into second. What a brilliant effort from him we had today. Crashed in qualifying, but came in with excellent performance on a debut race in a car and on a track he barely had time to learn. What a strong start to his BIA racing career.
That was a scare. But you know what? I'll take second. Right, shout out to the mechanics back at the PP Tech factory.
And that's it for the second race of the season that took place on the Utah Belt, where the race traversed 11 laps, just over 100 kilometers in distance, and managed to run through to the end of the timer. The race results are Blazin first, achieving his first BIA win, Customized second, Jace third, and due to Brock being disqualified for his false pit, Polly fourth and Brock fifth. Your driver of the day is Jace for outstanding performance compared to his usual skill set. He did not qualify, committed to an unorthodox strategy starting in 5th that carried him to his first ever podium, something unexpected considering Jace's much lower racing skill set compared to everyone else, all while taking part on one of the longest and most dangerous tracks in the BIA that he had barely driven on before. And not to mention, he went out of his way to help Blazin after a bad crash, and if he hadn't have done that, Blazin would have never been able to finish the race in the first place. This has shifted up the standings quite a bit. Polly is still in first with 7 points, with Blazin in second just 1 point behind. Brock in third and Jason fourth are tied for points, holding 4 at the moment, and Customized is a single point behind them in 5th. Join us next time for the third race of 12 on the Nodio line. This is the first nighttime race that will be taking place, and this track is challenging to get fast on. It runs quite a high speed and has wide and smooth sections, with the second half getting a lot bumpier with dangerous proximity to trackside objects and scenery throughout. It will most definitely be an interesting race. See you then.